Greetings, everybody. Today we're going to talk about some new big box PC games that, well, not new, you old ones, that are going to be worth more and more money as the years pass and probably be really hard to find. So we're just going to start going through right now is the original release of Half-Life big box. This version was basically released at the very tail end of 1998 after the game launched. And this version was on market for probably, I would say it had to be less than a year because the Game of the Year version was released and has a different cover, different artwork, different stuff. This version is way, way harder to find and is going to be way more money, anywhere from $100 to probably $150-ish right now. I could see this going up hugely in value over the years, especially if they don't release another Half-Life. There's not going to be any more of these made, obviously, so this is going to be one of my holy grails, at least, of the big box PC collecting. My copy's in pretty nice, complete condition, but yeah, this is one of my favorites for sure. I'll show you after that first year when it won all the awards and after it was launched. Some different artwork. Again, this one's not in as nice of condition, but that's okay. I got this very cheap, so no big deal there. But definitely not as cool. The artwork's not as cool. The box is still very neat, and it's still something I want to hang on to. I also have the Blue Shift and Opposing Force boxes, too. Those ones are very cool. We're not going to show those in this video. But just to give you an idea of what the Game of the Year edition looks like after the fact. The next one I want to talk about is going to be Red Faction on PC in the big box form. This is one of the ones that I wouldn't have guessed would be rare at all, but ends up being very, very hard to find. I've come across only a couple copies of this in my time collecting for computer games. This version specifically, too, with the cutout and the exclusive multiplayer level, was only sold at GameStop stores for a limited time. So again, it makes it a little harder to find. You can find copies in jewel cases and disc and free copies. Or not free, but loose copies, I guess you'd say. But the big box, complete with everything, the manual, is not easy to find. I think I got this for around $50-ish on eBay. This is going to be one that's going to go up in value. Very cool artwork, again. Very cool piece to own with the folding front there with the see-through graphics. But again, that's a pretty cool one. That's one that's going to stay in my collection forever. Is the original release of StarCraft. This one's very cool because it's got so much stuff inside. It's got manuals, books, instructions, units, everything described that's in the game. It's very heavy. I would say it's probably like 1.5 pounds of just pure awesome. But this one's got great artwork. This one's in very nice shape. I actually found this at Goodwill for very cheap. So this is another one of those that I found that is going to stay in my collection forever. And it's also one of my favorite games ever made. It's the best RTS ever made. Fight me! But I think it's the best. So this is another cool one that I'll keep in the collection forever. Next one I'm going to cover on here, or talk about here, is the original release of Deus Ex on the PC. This is, again, a complete, very nice version of it. These aren't super rare, I wouldn't say. I hate the word rare, but they're not rare. They made a ton of copies of this, but nobody kept the box. I don't want to say no, not a lot of people kept the box. Not in this condition, either. I mean, having it where all the artwork is basically mint condition. It has the awesome, like, foil look to it, if you can tell on camera, the lighting. It looks great. It's very cool. It's, again, one of the best games ever made. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. This is another just collection piece that has to stick around forever. And it's got a sweet 3DFX logo. Here, that would be another Blizzard game. We'll talk about the original Diablo here. This is, again, one of the original releases. I don't know if this is the first run because it has the Game of the Year like the StarCraft version. So these might be second releases, particular to probably like a Kmart store. I know this one's from Kmart because it had a Kmart receipt with it in the box. This is all complete, all original, was purchased for $1 at Goodwill. It's just a great find. This is another one that I could see going up in value just because the Diablo series is always going to be popular. People still play 3. 3 just came out on Switch last year. So, I mean, there's a lot of popularity with it, especially when they make a 4th installment of it. There's not much else to say about that. You can play it on even Mac, I guess, Power Macintosh it works on. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool release. Definitely. This is the crown jewel of my PC collection. This is definitely not all of my PC collection. There's some more scattered through here, smaller box PC games, some kind of rare, some okay. Got the Elder Scrolls Anthology here, which is a pretty cool release. Again, not super expensive and not super hard to find, but just a cool piece to have. But this one I'm holding behind my back in secret is going to be the next PC big box game that's going to go through the roof in value, especially when they remaster this game, the first version of this game. If they ever remaster the second version, and if a third one ever actually comes out, which I kind of think Prey from 2016 is pretty much System Shock 3, but yeah, it's a whole other video because that's one of my favorite games I've ever played. But this is going to be System Shock 2 original release, not the PC game classic BS yellow tag one they released. That version's fine. It's still a big box, but it is not the original release. This is the original release in all of its glory with the foil cover and the artwork in very, very nice condition, near mint condition. And the best part is, I don't know if you can tell on camera there, but it is still sealed and has never been opened. It does not have the shrink wrap, but it is brand new condition. I've never gone into it to play it. I've played other versions on Steam. I'm not opening this one, of course, but I got this for around $100 on, of all places, Etsy. Somebody was selling it, and I thought $100 was an extremely fair price to pay for a game like this that has a following like this. That is one of the best games ever made, one of the most influential games ever made. I had no problem paying $100 for this. So this is going to be, we'll probably do a future video on System Shock 2 and the game itself and maybe some gameplay and stuff like that. We'll probably do that on a lot of these games, but this is definitely the crown jewel of the collection and one that I'll hold on to forever. And yeah, it's a great game. It's a great box, my collection. But yeah, that's kind of it. We can take any comments you have on ones you think. I know the other popular ones tend to be Fallout 2, some of the old prior to Square Eidos games that have the trapezoid and stuff like that, Final Fantasy VII, or some of the Japanese imports, House of the Dead, Resident Evil PC, Metal Gear Solid PC, even the original Turok on PC. There's some really hard to find games out there, and I'm forgetting a lot, but I collect games that interest me and that I actually played growing up and that I have a connection with. I don't just buy ones just for the sake of it. I want a game that I actually like and that I can actually play. So yeah, it gets some use. I currently have 97, 98 Dell XPS computer. I can show it to you here. It's definitely that vintage. It's got a 3DFX Voodoo 3 card in it, a 16 meg card. It plays the Glide games amazing. It's got a Pentium 3 700 megahertz processor. It's the ideal Windows 98 gaming computer. I mean, it's fantastic. It's got a Fireball Quantum hard drive. It's just great. So we'll do some videos about that and do some videos of setting that up, because getting Windows 98 set up in 2019 is not super easy. There's a lot of stuff we take for granted now with automatic driver installs and connect plug and play stuff with USB. And we all know plug and play didn't really come until XP, so it's kind of, Windows 2000 might have had a little, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm fortunate that I was able to find a unofficial service pack that had some of the stuff, and then the service pack 1 that is released by Microsoft that's still obtainable. Mass storage drivers, so you can use a flash drive to move stuff. and just that kind of stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Until the next video, see you later.